chatting to a lot of builders, one thing that definitely seems to be coming up often and consistently for a long time is just it's a lonely road sometimes.
Yeah.
If they're at the top running their business, they can't talk to they have subbies and trades and all that, and they have team. It's not like they're a one-man band.
Yeah. And they go home that night and they talk to the spouse. But
they can't, because when they get home, they need to be a father and a husband.
True.
Yeah.
And so they can't be like, oh, I had this and this challenge today. And if for a lot of our builders, their kids, let's say, there's a large majority of the builders I talk to whose kids are between 0 and say 10.
Yeah.
And there's lots that are 10 to 20 and there's builders we talk to that are grandparents, but it's a busy period. I mean, you guys know what this period is like with having young kids. You get home and nobody's asking you,
Yeah, sometimes
to
I feel
detail
like,
your day.
like maybe maybe it was a real tough day, and I'm dealing with like a big problem or whatever, and then I go home and I'm like, oh man, yeah, my wife, she's really gonna understand, and she's gonna be. And then when I just start talking about it, it's just like, yeah. Then I realize now's not the time. To talk about it.
And they've had their day.
Yeah.
And they're probably looking to us, and the wives that they're looking to their husbands to help them debrief their day. But there's urgent needs of kids need to be fed and bathed and dinner and stuff around the house and washing and cleaning. There's just a lot there. So it can end up just due to the environment and the time period, and just having people around. That's the other thing. Being time poor. I know we talk about that in other areas, but if you're running a business all day, you go home and then you're putting the hat on of father and a husband, then and we have wives that are running business companies, building companies as well, but there's no time to go out there and find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
It's either there are fires to be put out on site, or there are clients to get back to, or projects that need to be moved, and then there's going home. And that's something that I know that I had my scales taken from my eyes pre-kids, talking to one of our builders. I was like, yeah, man, here's a whole list of things you can, ideas, you can go out and implement it. He's like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I will not look at that until probably next week. But there's just, I'm going to go home now and it's going to be on.
Yeah.
And he had 3 young kids. So
That's big, eh?
yeah, it's just very little opportunity.
And so what does this mean for their business then, ultimately? If they're feeling like that, they feel like they can never actually talk to someone about it, what does this then create?
Well, I think the big thing is they just feel lonely, The great thing is we're running this business together, so we've got each other, which is awesome. I know there are a couple of builders out there that's got partners in the business and so on, but majority of our clients, it's a one man, there's one person running the business, and but even at times with partners, it gets tough because that's all you're used to. You're in that kind of bubble. And I think when it comes to builders, we always talk about this, they have so much risk and they have so much on their shoulders that it's heavy, right? I mean, we catch up with a couple of our, really good friends that are builders every single month. And man, we always tell them, it's like, man, you guys have so much on your shoulders.
You do. There's so much. Exactly. It's huge.
Yeah.
And I think the effect of that, of then feeling like you're on this journey alone, is that there's a couple things. It can affect how you kind of keep growing in your business as a person, mentally, and how you pitch up every day with the excitement and the passion. And the other effect is that when you feel like you can't share anything with anyone or be able to just sit down with someone and you can learn from each other, then suddenly that also could restrain your business from having the growth and the fruit that it could potentially have.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, just when you said that, it just made me think, for a few people listening, they probably know that I love my riding, cycling and stuff. And the last few years I've been really good at like my riding and my like habit, like routine and so on, right? So I was getting stronger and everything. But this year, for some reason, it's really taken a back seat in a way, just dealing with a lot of different things in life. And I was still riding, but the thing was I just went out solo. And I was just doing it solo, and that was great. I mean, it's a great opportunity to, like, you know, clear your mind and all that kind of stuff, and keep that, like, you know, that exercise going and so on. But then recently, probably the last 2 months, I got back into some group rides and everything again. And the ability of being in that group and that community. So you got to like show up. There's a particular time you've got to show up. If you're like 20 seconds late, they don't
It's accountability.
It's accountability, right? It's huge. And then the second thing is everyone is pushing each other.
Yeah.
Like if you look at my stats, because like when you're riding, you're looking at all the stats, your heart rate, your power, like everything. Like every single segment is like a little, like, okay, cool, I'm going to smash this segment.
Yeah.
Right? And then the thing is, like, if you look at all of my data, it is way up. And I can feel it as well. So I'm getting a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But B, it's really pushing me.
Yeah.
But also, I've heard you talk about these other guys that are on the rides with you, and you showed me some of the chats that you guys are having on comments from your rides or in group chats where they're super supportive and they want you go, oh, I'd love to go get a new PB. So you set a new goal and like, mate, it's on next week, me. Yeah. And then someone else goes, oh yeah, I'm in too. I'm going to help push you, you know, and it just radically changed. Now you got a group that want to propel you forward. They want to, like, I think cycling is a great analogy there actually, because they're going to help draft you. You know, they're going to help carry you.
Yeah.
It's like, how much better are you doing it then with these guys? Is it hitting those new PBs like you did on Springbrook this week versus try to go out there and do it alone?
Yeah. Well, this is a good, like, this is a good story. Like, I don't want to make this podcast all about my cycling, but I think it's I think it's a really good story because I had a huge breakthrough.
Like a week ago?
2 days ago.
Yeah, so a week ago you set a time on like a very
even going back. So since 2009, I've been doing this ride, like Springbrook. It's like
a mountain climb, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's a segment, and that's always been my focus. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go crush this segment, and like every ride I do, I'm 1 second better or whatever, right?
Because Strava records your time going up, and every time you can see what your time is.
Yeah.
And a leaderboard with everyone else that rides that mountain.
So you can do that, and then like last week I got up, was riding with a few guys, and then I'm like we got to the top. I thought I was getting a PB, and it ended up being 2 seconds slower. So I was miscalculating, and I was like, I told the guys, I'm like, oh man, I was 2 seconds off my PB, and they go, next week it's on. That's the goal, right? So I'm talking about 2 seconds, and it's what was it? My PB was 22 minutes 50. So I'm talking about just trying to shave off 2 seconds in a 22-minute thing. Anyway, cut a long story short, these guys 2 days ago, they're like, okay, 2 days a day. They were helping me. They were coaching me up this whole hill, pushing me.
Encouraging you.
I was like redlining.
Spotting where maybe there's like where you need a bit of encouragement or some wisdom on what to do.
Or when I fall back a bit,
breathing.
Cut a long story short, I cut off, what was it? 1:50.
That's insane.
Off my part. And it's just because I was there with those guys.
That's almost 10%.
Yeah, that's huge, right? So if we translate that into business, what does that mean in business terms?
If you dissect that, it's like having these extra people with you and they spot, man, like I see this thing you're doing in the business. You could just do it this way. Or they could just be encouraging you going, hey man, like you're doing a great job. And then suddenly it spurs on that, like you were going up that hill. Like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. Well, there was like a goal, right? And then you had like people around you that were like-minded and better because they're way better than me. Their time up there is way faster. So I could actually, I'm like, okay, cool. I had my goal. I had my like crew, community, and I had that accountability. They wouldn't let me like drop, and I didn't want to let them down because I'm like, man, so if you think about that in business terms, if you're doing this solo alone, like if I go do that hill alone, no one cares. No one even knows if I do 30 minutes or whatever. But because I've got that community around me. Yeah.
Yeah, it is big. And that's something, cool. I mean, we've all seen time and time again with builders who we interact with. the guys that build a relationship with someone new, and then you see them, just the constant interaction, encouragement between one another. You just see the progress. I don't want to use the word growth because some people you think of growth as scaling.
Yeah.
But for
it's
most
not
of the
always-
builders I'm talking to, they don't want to scale.
Yes.
Growth to them means something unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what are some examples of that? Like, what are some of the goals that you see these days?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because there's been a huge shift. I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, everyone's goal was like scale. Let's go like
Let's
dominate.
grow it. Let's go bigger homes, more luxury, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now it would be, yes, there are people who want to go from 500K projects to $1 million. There are those that want to then get more consistent in that 1.5 to 3 mil, or spoke to someone yesterday, more consistent 4 to 10 mil sort of projects. There would be getting the right team members is their big goal. Upskilling team members, retaining the right team members.
Yeah, but why? Like, why?
Why
all
do they
these
want
team
that?
things? Yeah,
Why the
all
team
these
things?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Go a bit deeper. For them, it's about buying time back, allowing them to focus on things that they most enjoy about their business. And maybe that's client interactions. Maybe that's networking. Maybe that's just spending more time on site. Some guys, because often it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to grow and I'm going to get off site and be in the office. A lot of the guys, they love site. That's where they thrive. That's where they love the problem solving.
passion.
And so, okay, well then you need to build a team that allows you to be able to go and go to site for the enjoyment of it.
Yes.
To teach your guys. Because a lot of the time, the guys that work for you, let's assume largely, I do hear this a lot, they want to work for you. They enjoy your leadership. They enjoy what they're learning from you. And they crave more of our builders, all the builders out there, because they're the ultimate knowledge source in that company. And if you're not spending time on site, how is everyone from your apprentice to your leading hand to your site supervisor to your project managers, how much are they able to learn and grow if you're not spending time with them? Yeah. If you're putting out other fires and getting back to emails and to clients and the myriad of other things.
Yeah, I mean,
that's often
another goal I see a lot. Maybe I don't know if you do as well. It's like a lot of the guys that I have a chat with, their big goal, like business goal, that is, and not like a long term goal, like a short medium term goal is just like systemize their business more.
Yeah.
Just so that, and it comes back to what you said before, like they want to buy back time. And I think, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier in this episode in terms of like, a lot of the builders that, we're talking to, they've got kids and stuff, family. So it's not all just about business for them these days. It's about having a systemized business, something that they, care about, something that they enjoy.
Waking up with, that's exciting.
Yeah, something that they are proud of, something like legacy.
One thing I've been pleasantly surprised with as well is there's a lot of builders out there that want to give back to their team. So they want to systemize things.
Sorry, say again?
They want to give back to their team.
Give back.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They want to be able to give more to their team in a way of thanks. And because they see themselves like, we're in this together to a degree. And so they would love to give their team a bonus or pay them more. But they also know that if they can systemize the business better, then things run smoother with clients, and therefore the team then has a smoother build. And so then the team enjoys it more. And so then everyone just gets more satisfaction out of what they're doing. And so that's something that I have often seen it and seeing it more, is that they want their team to also enjoy what they're doing more.
Yeah.
They don't want their team, everyone's seen what burnout looks like.
Yeah.
And so often some team members, if you push them too hard for too long, they leave. They just, I need to go elsewhere. I need a fresh start. This is just burning me out. So if you're creating an environment where it's enjoyable, people want to come, be a part of it, want to work there, then it's just, so that's another goal for a lot of people.
Okay.
Creating better systems, more profitable company, more team enjoyment for the team's benefit, because they know that it's a team of families and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess getting back to the core of it, like why do you guys think it should be a goal for builders to not always, but escape this lonely, path that they're on, to actually have a good group of guys or girls around them.
There's a lot of reasons, but one, if I go to just like a book I'm reading at the moment, and it's just highlighting the fact that certain people, and I would say those certain people, most builders would fall into that category. Their minds are racing. They never stop ticking, working things out, solving problems. And when you don't have anyone to share that with,
Yeah.
it can be not healthy sometimes. And so that needs to get out of your head.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's going to be just that, what do you think is going to happen if that treadmill just keeps on running and doesn't stop and never gets any outside input, never gets tuned, never gets fresh gas. Not that a treadmill needs gas, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So sharing, so kind of like sharing what you're going through, because like chances are like other builders have been through the same kind of thing. So yeah, it's like really like shared wisdom,
Sharpening each other.
yeah. And I mean that could be anything. Like it could be like the small detail things, like I from like previous like masterminds and stuff, that we've hosted. It might be little things like estimating, and then they talk about estimating, right? Probably not something I know too much about, but I straight away I could see like while I was observing, the one builder, it was a problem for him. Like he made some mistakes with the estimating, and it cost him a lot, not just money but headaches and project dragged on and all that. And this other guy came in. He's like, man, totally hear you. I had that exact problem, and this is what I did, and this is what I'm doing now. And you could again, like while I was observing, the other builder, he had like hope in his eyes. So that was cool. And so it's like the little things. To me, it's probably not a little thing. Like estimating is huge, but in terms of like it's more of a micro. We're zooming into things, but then there's like the bigger picture stuff as well. Like builders have lives. They've got families. It's not just the business. So
Going back to what I said earlier in terms of like there's often no time between running a business and just running and then going home and stuff. Often what ends up happening is there's no time to stop and get some outside input and step back and go, how do I want to think? Do I want to think bigger or think differently? And again, bigger is not always scaling. Bigger could be, where do I want things to be in 5 years from now? I don't just want to, in 4.5 years' time, put my head up and go, oh, man, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm so off course. But to stop and think, where do I actually want to be? And that's a big thing of, we help all of our builders before we do any marketing with them on the biz video side of things, is to stop and go, all right, do you know where you want to be in a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Because we want to make sure that all we're creating is moving in that direction. We don't just ever want to create something just for the sake of making it look pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we get a lot of inquiries, and they come in and they're like, can I get a quote on, a day shoot, and we're going to visit these 3 locations, and then we just, politely say, this is not, I don't know how you normally say it. I normally just forward it to you. I'm like, you deal with it. But yeah, politely just say, look, this is not the way we do it. It's not.
It's just having a discussion with them and asking them, thank you for sending that through. I appreciate it. Thanks for putting the time into that. And I can see you've given it some thought. That's fantastic. Let's talk.
Or you've put it in AI.
yeah, AI. I'm seeing more of that. And then just, what's the outcome you want from this? Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you want that? Oh, okay. And you were going to say something?
No, you keep going, James.
It's just that discussion. Then once you start chatting and they realize, oh, okay, that just simply going out and doing that wouldn't solve problems. It actually has created more questions. And it's like, yeah, well, that's often what we find. Or you spend like 80-20 rule in that scenario, is like a 80% input and then 20% output,
Yeah.
as opposed to the way we go about doing things when it's done right with good thinking and good planning. We want that. It's that we try to do it with our clients. That sort of 595 with a 10 out of 10, where put some input. We do most of the work. Yes, there's some other input from them in regards to, obviously, if we're shooting them or just putting us in contact with some of their clients, because we can arrange everything from that.
Yeah. And I guess how this translates to like builders, right, is, it's like you getting an email and you get a design and you're like, cool, just give me a quote on this design. And it might be like a terrible design because the client just designed it themselves. It's not even designed by this designer or an architect, and then you got a quote on that. It's kind of like, but I think we've gone off topic.
So just on a side note, like having witnessed like over the years, some of those builders that have kind of formed a bit of a friendship with another builder in the area, and just kind of seeing them then walking together, chatting with each other.
Probably just to, sorry, if we can come back to your point, but just to interject, there's a difference between having like a friend that's a builder and having someone on the journey with you.
Okay.
If I just want to point out the distinction,
Yes.
a lot of builders
Yes.
that I talk to would have mates that are trades or are builders, and when they catch up, they just talk shallow shop, or they just
have something
they
in
moan,
common.
or they just it's just like freaking client. There's no there hasn't been a foundation maybe of,
Or like a structure.
there's no structure, and it hasn't come from a foundation of we both want to grow and learn. Sometimes there are builders that you hit off with someone because you both are very ambitious.
Yes.
Awesome, great. But for a lot of the time, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunity if you just simply hanging out with your friends and they happen to be builders.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's almost like you.
Not saying it's wrong. I'm just being mindful of there's a difference.
That's right.
Yeah, and I mean, if I just translate this back to the cycling,
Yep.
I can go ride.
With me.
Well, with me, I can
go-
get you up there for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I can go ride with my daughter. My almost 4-year-old daughter.
That's very safe.
Or or I can go ride with this crew that I had a ride with this morning. There are a couple like little young pros in there. So it's like, who are you putting yourself with? Yeah.
So then it basically comes back to you've got to, the person you put yourself with, the commonality that you have is not the builder necessarily, the builder side of things. It's the fact that you have the same similar goals, or this person is maybe a step ahead of where you're going.
Yeah.
Because what I've witnessed, like just looking at some of these builders that have joined up like that, where they have a similar goal. Yes, they're builders, but they have a similar goal of growing their business and they value their family and things like that. And then seeing over time what that then creates from that. Like you can see, one thing I've witnessed is that confidence in them as a person. And it must be when they are meeting up with each other that they're able to share things like, how to better work with your team, how to, when you're, estimating a job, how do you do, like what I was saying before, how do you do it differently that then ultimately means better for the business as well overall. And so ultimately it comes down to confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
And confidence is massive.
I was just going to say that, like, without confidence, like, where are you going to go? With confidence, like, the chances of you actually hitting your goal, goes up drastically.
That confidence, like, there's a conviction. They get up in the morning, they do things with intention in their step, and that creates momentum.
Yeah.
And I don't mean scale momentum where everything's just like going big. It's like, it's the fruitful momentum, the momentum that brings good to the team, to the clients, to the future, your passion, your craftsmanship in where you're going with the business, the legacy.
And then just like enjoying every day.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the journey.
What you do.
Yeah. Sometimes you wake up, you're just like, oh my goodness, this journey.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you go. You got something important.
You look like there's something important, James. So please go ahead.
The phrase and the saying, I forget who said it. You quote it. We all quote it. A lot of guys have heard it before, but the idea of you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with, or spend most time with, or whatever that exact.
Jim Ron?
Jim Ron.
Yeah,
What's the exact saying?
you're the average of the 5 people you spend your time with.
Yeah.
It's just like,
So
who are they? Yeah.
being mindful of that is really important. So if you're just hanging out with the same people, but they're not ambitious like you, they're not encouraging you, they're not, and that's maybe in the culture that we're in, it's tall poppy syndrome, or you're talking crap about, you know, as a laugh, you point out the mistakes in your friends, maybe. I try not to
You know what
subscribe
that
to
comes
but-
down to? Like, it comes down to competition. And there's like two sides of competition. There's like good competition and there's bad competition. And the tall poppy syndrome side of it is that's bad competition.
Yeah.
And that having, you know,
That's a victim.
yeah,
a victim person.
And
And
maybe
pointing out your
being
mistakes.
in a group, and let's say the 5 people you hang around with, if it's like that tall poppy syndrome vibe in there, that's bad competition. It's not really going to drive you. The good competition though, like that, I think that's probably something we should talk about, because, you know, breaking this mindset of like other builders being your competition. Like you always talk about this, JP, like, you know, what should builders do in terms of breaking that mindset of seeing other people competition? Because, you know, there are a lot of builders out there. There's a lot of builders in your location. What do you normally say to builders to change that mindset?
Yeah, a big one is and the big belief that we have here is that every builder is different. And so a very key important part, whether they work with us or not, is I want them to understand that they are unique. There's no one else that like them on the planet. There's no one else like Jim that works for you, or Sandy, so when you put that team together, there's something very unique about that team. But do you believe that? It's very important that you first believe it and have confidence in that. Then you want to go about communicating that so that your prospective clients, people you're collaborating with, can go, wow, there's something unique here. I can't find that anywhere else, and I can see the value in that.
Yeah.
Let's pursue something here.
So really, it's like it's shifting from like competition to community, and having a community around you. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
That you can journey along with
Should we
and enjoy the.
talk about Inspired Builder Summit real quick?
I think so.
Let's do it.
This episode's gone on for a while already, and I
It was
know
meant to
builders
be a
don't have
shorter
time.
one, yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about that for a sec, because it's on point with what we've been talking about having that community.
I would say the summit has been designed and curated and put in place based on what we've been talking about, based on all the conversations, based on all the relationships with our builders and what we've been hearing. Based on 6-7 years of intense feedback, and feedback loops, and going, okay, what is it that builders need most, what do they want most, what are they going to get the most value out of? So that's how it's been designed and curated.
I'm super excited about it. We officially launched it yesterday. So the time of recording this episode, like launched it yesterday. There's a lot of tickets gone already. We really want to make this summit something
almost 20% gone.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Day one.
Sure.
Really want to make this summit something unique, something that, builders go, like at the end of next year, like my biggest win from the whole year was going to that summit, because I connected with these people. I've got a group of, guys or girls that I'm now in like a community with, that I can, solve these problems with, make better decisions, and everything else like that. So that's a big goal of ours there. I think another big goal is like, we're not showing up as like the guru or anything. We still have a lot to work out in terms of like what's going to be happening at the event. We've got a basic like framework. And again, it's kind of like just backing up what you said before. We didn't just come up with this. We're like, what will be cool at this event? It wasn't that. We were literally talking to multiple builders about
feedback
this.
from them.
Yeah, feedback. And they're like, and when we mention it, we're like, hey, we're thinking of like hosting this event next year. All of a sudden, like eyes light up like every single time. Like we caught, like there was this builder that came up the driveway, a good friend of ours, and came up in the driveway. He's like, "Oh, I just saw you guys walking from the coffee shop and I just want to say hi." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Hey, so pumped. We've got this event coming up." And then he's like, "Oh, just wait, let me just get a park." And he parked. So we had a good chat, right? And then multiple other builders as well, right? Yeah. So I think a big thing here is like, yeah, creating a room of, you know.
I had a lot of people reach out to me because you sent that first email out saying, "Hey, this is coming," and I was amazed at the
the hype email.
Just the hype.
2 days
saying,
ago.
"Hey, yes, there's something coming." Just the amount of response from that, and the amount of people that reach out to me and goes, "Hey, what is this? And why have I not been emailed?" Like it said there that you've already emailed out a hot list. Why am I not on the hot list? Like, why am I? And then I would describe to them what more about the summit, and they're like, "Okay, please send me something. How do I?" So it was awesome to hear that. It just affirms that yes, we've gone and we've really listened, and it's been designed and curated for builders. And yes, we're not builders, but it's purely based on feedback from builders. So you could say it's designed
for builders by builders.
For builders by builders for builders.
We're thinking a lot.
But yeah, it's information from builders and just going back out to them.
All right. Well, so give us just a little bit of meat.
Well, I was going to say, like, give us some of the brass, the brass tacks, or what are some of the details?
Yeah. What are some of the unique things happening?
Well, dates. Let's start with the dates. So it's officially the 26th and the 27th of Feb.
Which is a Thursday and a Friday.
And the reason...
End of February.
Yeah, and where? Where is it, JP?
So it is at Kira on the Gold Coast. At the Kira Beach Hotel.
Which is very close to the Gold Coast Airport.
Yeah.
Like a 2-minute drive.
When we started talking about this, I'm like, okay, the vision for this thing is like somewhere in Coolangatta, ocean, right?
Yes.
I want people to go like, get out of their office, get off their job site.
Fly from over Australia.
And again, this is all on feedback. Like feedback from builders is I get the most out of things having to travel.
That's it.
To go to a place, a new place. And when the place is something inspiring, that's even better.
Yeah.
Why on the Gold Coast? Because we have so many of our builders that, and even builders that are not on board with us, that will reach out and say, "I'm on the coast for a holiday. Can we catch up for coffee?"
Yeah.
Or
I need an excuse.
I need an excuse. Or how do I write
Can
this
we
off
have a meeting?
somehow?
This is not financial.
This is not financial advice. You need to seek. Yeah. So just based on feedback, this is a destination that people love. And then again, why is it Thursday, Friday? So that we can do the summit and you can bring your family along and then have the weekend with them as well. Whether they come up and spend the Thursday, Friday at wherever you're staying for your accommodation while you do the summit, or
because a few of the guys that have bought tickets already,
they're coming with their families.
What they do. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
And then you've got Saturday, Sunday to hang around.
Okay, let's just go back to the dates. So it's the 26th and the 27th.
Yes.
The cool thing is we've got a particular option for a ticket there where we've got the welcome dinner, and that's going to be the
Wednesday night.
Oh, my notes have just changed. Yeah, the 25th, the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So you just want to plan for that. Get in.
Where there's only a certain amount of people for that dinner. You can't have any more.
Yeah, that'll be sold out.
Because it's a very nice, unique restaurant on the beach.
Yeah, that's the other
Beautiful
thing.
Food.
Yeah.
And just a great view.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. So if you are thinking, that is...
Yeah. So yeah, it's a nice restaurant, nice food, but who's going to be in the room? That's going to be the value. So at the welcome dinner... No, welcome dinner is not at the one on the beach. No, it is on a beach.
It's at Kira.
It's at Kira. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the other dinner, the VIP dinner, I don't know what we call it, but that one is
which would be the night between the 2 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going into a lot of detail.
So just give us some meat on just some of the key things happening in the event. So it's going to be 50 of builders that are ambitious, that are wanting to learn, that they're wanting to do something with their building business. So like-minded people coming into this.
Yeah. And they want to get in a room with other like-minded people.
With other like-minded people. So it's going back to that thing that we talked about earlier. It's like who are you putting yourself in the room with, basically? Who are you sitting down with?
Yeah.
It was interesting as well that there was a builder I spoke to yesterday, and they were asking me like who's in the room, like because we don't want to be in there with small fish. We want to be the smallest fish in the room. And funny enough, it was like, yeah, well, you would be.
Yeah.
As of at the moment, you would be middle of the pack to lower.
But the thing is, like, like I do get that point, but at the same time, like this room's going to be epic, right? Like we're curating this in a way, right? So it's going to be a good group of guys, and
So
everyone's there to like help each other.
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. So some people, and maybe you can touch on this, superpowers. You want to talk about superpowers?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to jump on. So, Andre keeps saying, "Give us some meat." So a big thing is at this event, there's no sales, there's no fluff, there's no one pitching from stage, there's no high-paid speaker to come get you to jump up and shake your hands, anything like that. It's hearing from and learning from everyone else in the room. And yes, while there might be some guys that you would deem smaller than you because they have a lesser turnover or they do smaller scale projects, surprisingly enough, those guys sometimes have way better systems in place.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to superpowers, there are people coming to this event that have particular superpowers. And I like that term. And one of the guys I was talking to yesterday was using that term. And that's what we want to highlight. So we're seeing everyone who's coming into this event. So far, everyone who's bought tickets, I've spoken to. And and a lot of them I know fairly well. And those who I don't know well, I'm getting to know them better. And if we're getting tickets to people who I've never met before, I want to be getting to know them because I want to understand what are these people's superpowers so that on that 2-day event, the summit, we're going to be able to orchestrate and pull out the people's superpowers in the room so that can be shared. And so it's got nothing to do with the size of the person or the size of the project. If they've got something, and it doesn't mean that they're a perfect person or a perfect business, that everything's beautiful and roses and unicorns, but they might do something extremely well. That's what we want to learn from.
Yeah.
And then obviously, yes, we want to learn about bottlenecks and challenges and mistakes and stuff. That's where you learn a lot.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
So
how does that?
I'll bullet point it quick.
Okay.
Because I think this is what
That's
you're.
epic. Though,
I think
by
this
the
is
way.
what you're
Thanks
looking
for
for.
sharing.
So we're going to have deep dives. All right.
So what's a deep
that?
dive?
So this is where we're going to be interviewing and telling the story and the journey of a particular builder.
We've
And-
got a few.
Yeah, we
of
only have a
those,
few spots for
but
that.
they are uniquely handpicked
Yeah.
with a uniqueness superpower to what they do.
Yeah. It's unlike anything anyone's ever experienced because there's like a topic and it's, I don't want to give away too much. We're not going to give away the deep dives yet. No? Okay.
And that list of deep dives is not set.
Yeah.
Because-
we're still choosing
Yeah. It's
based on
it's
the room.
It's a constant draft until the week before.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, deep dives. You'll learn a lot there. So there's going to be unique business models people have, transformed their business into. You can learn from that, right? Things like that. Then we're going to have hot seats. So hot seats are going to be, you're going to have tables with a few guys, girls, and that's where you can bring, your goal that you want to hit, but then your biggest bottlenecks and problems and actually hear from the builders, like how have you guys dealt with this before? How did you go with that? So that in itself is going to be so valuable. I mean, you can put dollar figures to these things, like, if you just avoid this mistake, how much is that worth? And so on. So that's huge. What's the other thing? Oh, we're going to be doing a AI workshop as a room, right? So how different builders are using AI at the moment and also moving forward. AI is going to be huge in the building industry as well.
The best practice for it right now.
Best practice, yeah, that's right. And then there's going to be a few other things.
Other things just to add to that. Again, this is purely based on all the feedback we've been getting when guys have said, what have they gotten the most out of past groups, events, summits, masterminds we've run? It's the conversations. Yeah, definitely the relationships. And so this has been designed to really build great relationships. And we'll get to more of that in a sec. But the conversations, sometimes, the best gold that someone took away was the conversation that they had with someone that they met at lunch. Or they come across a guy and then they remain in contact and they had coffee a week later, or they jumped on a call and had a long chat a week or two after the event. Or so we're looking at, so a big thing there is relationships. So we're designing the whole 2-day event around how quickly and fast can you build a deep relationship and trust with someone well, putting them in a trusting environment is one. It's a closed room. It's not recorded, so you can be open.
So there's no
and
cameras
vulnerable.
running.
No cameras rolling anyway.
Yeah, we might do the few visuals here and there to promote the next summit, which is going to be even. Yeah, that's another
But what's
topic,
being
but-
shared there is in a closed space.
Yeah, we're not, because initially we're like, oh, we could film the deep dives, and then we decided actually no, it's not a good idea, because if there's like a video camera recording, people are not going to be vulnerable. So the subject of the deep dive, the builder, they're not going to share everything, right, as open as you would when it's not recording.
Yeah.
And then
also the people who are asking or listening who want to raise their hand and ask questions, they can't be as honest and vulnerable in those questions.
Yeah, so it's
which
a
means they
closed
don't
group.
actually get the most out of the summit.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. And on that, asking questions, again, going back to feedback, a lot of guys have found it frustrating in the past if there's too many speakers, or there's the agenda is just one person after the next speaking, and then you get 5 minutes to talk around the table. There's no time for questions. There's no time to actually break apart if someone asks a really good question, break it down. And then there's no time to debrief with those at your table and go, oh yeah, that's something I'm dealing with at the moment, and then get that input. And that's part of the hot seating. And so again, based on feedback, we're going to be running this day so that everyone is getting the maximum out of it. Everyone is able to ask questions, listen, hear. Yeah.
Can I add something else? And it goes with exactly what you just said there. Again, like, who are you going to catch up with coffee afterwards or a few weeks afterwards? So one big problem that we found with a lot of events is, like, you come to this event, whatever event it is, and you get psyched up, you get motivated, you take a ton of notes, and then you just never open those notes again, right? So we're thinking, like, okay, how do we combat that so that builders actually get value from this, like before and even afterwards? So that's why we've got the school group. So it's an online community. So when you secure your ticket, you get access to the school group before the event. So you can actually start networking and everything there. That school group will launch hopefully today. It's already up and running, but there's just a few little things we're just ironing out at the moment. But everyone can join that pretty shortly. So all ticket holders get the school group beforehand, and then our inner circle and our brand authority ticket holders will get school group access, community access, for another 12 months after the summit. Okay, and there's actually going to be live calls on there as well for like the next 3 months after the event. And a big thing for that is that accountability and having structure there, so that, you know, builders can keep talking about, you know, what's been happening since the summit. Have I implemented these things? So that's going to be really valuable. And then they can actually, you know, catch up and stuff and talk about things in that community.
Which ultimately means they can take away what they get from the event and put it into play and have it
So
do some awesome stuff in the business or in them.
Yeah. So it's not just a notepad full of notes and
Because, again, going back to the feedback, a lot of guys I would chat to post an event was like, I had a great chat with this person. And then often they express it would be nice if I could chat with them again, or we didn't get to go deep enough in that discussion, or, you know, then you just go back to that isolated journey again. Whereas we want to make sure that the relationships, that this whole 2-day period is designed to in the quickest way, the best way, build great relationships, and then those relationships are maintained and watered and they flourish.
That's good. I'm excited.
Yeah, man,
I
can't
am
wait.
so excited.
It's going to be
I think why I'm excited is because ever since we started talking about this, and then we started talking to some of the builders, their body language, the way they talk, everything just like changed immediately. So to me, it feels like this is something that is really needed. And that's what I'm excited about. And the fruit that's going to come from this for everyone that goes to the summit. I'm so pumped. So is there anything else? Like, I mean, by the time, we launch this podcast, we do update the landing page every now and then with how many tickets are available. It's not like a live counter, but we try and go in there and update it. So, but there were only 50 tickets available. there's a lot less now. So
Yeah.
you
With
just want to
this-
jump on. If you are serious about this,
Yeah.
one thing I should mention is like, and I know this might sound like harsh, but we were talking about it before earlier when we were talking about the competition and stuff. I think, you know, if you're going to come to this event with like a closed mind in terms of like I'm big,
Or I only want to get from this.
yeah, or I just want to get from it, maybe just pass, like just in a I'm just saying this in a
Go to another event.
just go to another event. Politely, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just go somewhere, go to another event or something. You got to come to this with an open mind. You're going to meet with builders that are like very early on in the journey, but they are starting their business maybe now, and they are starting it in this AI world, for example. So you might just get some, 40 hours a week AI time saving system that they've just learnt about, right? So no one is big, no one is small. You're coming into this to, hang with a community where you can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
So there's going to be big, like we've got, one of the ticket holders are like, I don't want to mention revenue. It's ridiculous, right? And so there's a lot of different, big or
There's
small,
different
doesn't
people
matter
in there.
here.
Yeah. And I mean, I've already started saying no to people. I've had people reach out, some pretty ambitious trades. And I'm having to say to them, look, this is for builders.
Yeah, it's for builders.
As much as I know you would get a lot out of this, and it hurts me to say no. So we want to be specific.
Yeah, even designers and architects, like a few have reached out on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
And we just said, no, it's for builders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
Cool.
exciting, guys. Get your ticket
get your ticket.
and be excited to see you guys there next
Yeah.
year.
And if you have any questions, reach out. I
Yeah.
can chat with you.
Yeah, just reach
100%.
out and get it done. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll leave you with a quote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher it. Jim Ron, right?
Yes.
You are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Cool.
Thanks, guys.